Michigan voters, let's talk about voting. You guys have got some complicated ID rules, so I want to talk about those. But real quick, I want to throw something in. First of all, if you are a student, the following rules apply. If you are not generally from Michigan, but you go to school there, then you can register to vote wherever your school is in Michigan. So if you're going to school in Ann Arbor and you live in Ann Arbor for school, you can register to vote in Ann Arbor. Even if you're from Ohio or from wherever, you can register to vote there. If you are from Michigan and going to school in another state, but you still want to vote in Michigan, you can register to vote at your home in Michigan. And if you are a Michigan student who is also from Michigan, you can register at either your home or your school address. If you want an absentee ballot, you have to ask for one. You don't get it automatically in Michigan, but anyone can get one. So if you want one, you can get one. And you can either mail it in or take it in and drop it off. They recommend that if you're going to mail it in, you mail it at least 2 weeks before Election Day to make sure it arrives on time. Otherwise, take it in yourself. You can also go pick up an absentee ballot, but you're going to have ID with you, which isn't entirely true, but we're about to break into the ID thing. Okay, Michigan and your IDs. You are allowed to pick up an absentee ballot or to vote in person without an ID, but I highly recommend bringing an ID in either case. And I'm talking generally bring a state ID, like they have a list, but if you can, just bring a driver's license and make sure you have it on you. If you try to pick up an absentee ballot without a driver's license or an ID, my understanding is that they will give it to you. You have to sign a form that says I didn't have an ID with me, but your ballot will become provisional. So it's like it has to go through a process before they'll accept it. So I just don't recommend that. If you show up to vote, you have an ID with you, but you don't want to show it to them, they don't have to, I don't think they even have to let you vote. Basically, do not show up and refuse to show your ID, but say you have it with you. You will cause huge problems. I know the whole ID thing is a hot, touchy issue, but you are better off saying you don't have one than showing up and saying, I have it, I just refuse to show it to you. You're going to cause big problems. If you don't have an ID with you when you show up to vote in Michigan, you can vote and sign a form that says, I showed up to vote and didn't have an ID with me. There's a little affidavit that you sign, and they have to hold on to it for 6 years afterwards. From what I can tell from reading the law, there is no difference with your vote after that point. They just kind of keep them both, the ballot and your affidavit, and that's it. But it's still just a regular vote, and it counts the same as anyone else's. That said, there are some weird things about people challenging votes that they were a little unclear. And if you can bring an ID with you, I would bring an ID. It looks messy. But if you don't have one, go and just sign the affidavit. I think you're better off voting than not voting. Everybody in Michigan, you can check to see if you're registered on the Michigan Voter Information Center website. It's mvic.sos.state.mi.us. It's a pretty good website. It's got a lot of good information on it, and it's pretty easy to read. So go check it out if you have any questions. If you're from Michigan, please, Michigan, go vote. We need you. Michigan. And if you have any friends from Michigan, send this to them. Make them watch it.